As you stated, the names are Japhet Kwame Ntonchevere. I was born in 1967, 55 years ago, in a village known as Giaki in Meru County. I went to a primary school in the neighborhood. A primary school known as Giaki is a village primary school. But when I reached class 6, my mother decided to transfer me to Marsabit Primary School. That was in 1978, when we had the remnants of shifter war. So that was the beginning of adding me. At the age of 12 years, I would put my box on my head, leave Meru, all the way to Marsabit. In 1980, I sat for my CPE, passed well. I was the best pupil in Marsabit. The second best pupil in the Marsabit. Therefore, I very easily joined the national school, Meru Technical School. Then, in 1984, I sat for my KCE, the old system. I know those who went through 844 maybe lost a bit, but that's the old system. I passed well. I earned admission 1 with distinction 1, best grade in mathematics and physics and chemistry. So after that, I joined the Kagumo High School, the prestigious school. And in 1986, I sat for my Form 6. But it's worth mentioning, while in Form 5, police had a very good program, which we were calling Kenya Police Cadet Corps. So that program, what would happen? Students in Form 5 or Form 3 in Kagumo High School would go to Police College Kiganjo twice a week. Then they are taken through police program. It used to be on Tuesday and Thursday for 1 year. So I was a beneficiary of that program. So by the time I was leaving Kagumo High School, joining university, I was already a policeman. So I joined the Nairobi University in 1987 to study civil engineering. A policeman, but again, and to be careful, ensure that other students don't realize because of the incidents in the university those days. But anyway, to cut a long story short, I graduated in 1990 with a degree in Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. Immediately thereafter, because of my background in policing, in 1991 January, immediately after graduating, there was a recruitment, police recruitment. So I joined police service as a constable. I was among the first university graduates to join the police service, Kenya Police Service as constables. I completed my program, the initial training, then posted to Nairobi to patrol the streets of Nairobi as a constable. Then thereafter, I was transferred to anti-stock theft unit in Gilgit. While there, I was promoted to the rank of an inspector of police. I stayed there up to 1998. When I was promoted, I was gazetted actually. I became a gazetted officer as superintendent of police. I was transferred from unstock theft unit and posted to Eastlands, Buruburu Division as the deputy divisional commander. Then, while there, That is what began the bomb blasts in 1998. And quickly, some of us and to be trained in the US so that we can protect our country from that threat, terrorism threat. So I went to US, Louisiana Police State Academy, Louisiana University, Baton Rouge. I did my course on anti-terror. Was there, I did well. The president, the mayor of Baton Rouge honored me and appointed me honorary mayor and president of Baton Rouge City, the capital city of Louisiana. I came back to the country. I was promoted and transferred to Machakos as the OCPD. Then transferred to Maragua as an OCPD. Then Eastlands, there was a challenge. Many incidents of murder. I was started from Maragua to come and deal with that situation. So I reported to Buruburu Police Division, Eastlands, in 2001, and with we had dealt with that problem. Thereafter, the year 2002, I was transferred to City Center. Again, there were incidents of robberies, bank robberies. Again, I was transported. Then thereafter, I was in Central Division for 1.5 years. Then transferred to Kiganjo as the officer in charge, practical police work, as an instructor. But before leaving Central, because of the good work I did that time, I was decorated by the end of state. I was awarded the end of state commendation. So went to Central, to Ganjo, where I mentored many officers, trained officers. Then in the year 2005, the issue of the police housing came up, a big debate. So I was transferred from Ganjo to police headquarters to be in charge of police housing. And we up houses all over the country. All over the country, massive, nice houses. Kibish, and many other places, Oyugis. Then I continued becoming, as the director of planning, Kenya Police Service. Then Nairobi City as the police commander. Very challenging position, where I commanded major operations, including the visit by the Holy Father, the Pope. I was the operational commander for that operation. We had a ticket, a Tokyo International Conference. And we did very well. We had 4,000 delegates from Japan. No incident recorded. The service. After the general elections of 2017-2018, I was transferred to police headquarters, Kenya Police Deputy Inspector. Transferred to Kenya Police I've attended several courses, including I've been trained by on strategy and policy formulation, and several other programs. Senior command course, among many others. Because of time, I will not go into those details. Therefore, sir, my last posting is the Commandant National Police College, many campuses. 2,900 recruits who are just about to pass out. They will pass out in January. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Kome. It's a good introduction. But I don't know whether, I've not heard you mentioning whether you have a family.
Oh, thank you, Chair. I'm married. I have a dear wife called Sophie, and we have 2 gentlemen, adult children. One is 31 years, the last born 25 years. Therefore, I've got the time to work as an IG. I don't have a young child.
Which religion do you practice?
We are Christians. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian.
Okay.
Your firstborn, the day you've been in service for 31 years, and your firstborn is 31 years. Your firstborn is 31 years, you are 31 years in the service. Anyway,
I joined police when the gentleman was 10 years old.
Okay.
So I joined the service married.
That's okay.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It was just on a lighter note. Now, just for clarity, you had mentioned that maybe you were recruited a police officer before you joined the University of Nairobi for engineering course. Isn't it so? And if so, who was sponsoring or who was paying your fees?
Maybe, sir, to clarify, that was an arrangement which was there then. And I wish we can go back there. The idea was, you are not, this was voluntary, you are not even paid for it. The idea was, yes, you go through that program. Much later, even you don't join the police, you are CEO of somewhere, or even you are a member of parliament. You be having a mind of what is policing. That was the idea. But that program does no longer exist.
Okay. I'm saying you were recruited as a police officer before you joined the university, isn't it? Isn't it so? Yes or yes or no?
It was not a recruitment, Chair. That was not a recruitment.
It was?
It's just like now we have scouting. Okay. It was Kenya Police
now, Sawa. Thank you. Now, another question, quick one, because we have got quite a number of questions and members are many, and they would like to have some good time. Now, Mr. Engineer Kome, you're already a senior public officer, and according to the dictates of the Article 75 of our Constitution on the issue of conflict of interest, is there any family member or any other person, parties, or categories of litigation or financial arrangements that is likely to present potential conflict of interest if you are approved by this committee and subsequently become the IG? Just note, you'll answer both. Or do you have any other gainful employment that is also likely to bring conflict of interest in your assignments in case you are approved by this Honorable Parliament?
Thank you. Thank you, Co-Chair. Thank you, members. It's important to mention my wife. She's a detective. She's an investigator. She ends the fraud unit with the SACCOS Regulatory Authority. But that is our bit, is our profession. I have my job to do. And she is professional. She knows the limit you can go. It's a matter of serving this country.
So you don't think it can in any way conflict with your duties as the IG?
Not in any way.
Okay, lastly, so that I give to my co-chair here. Yeah, you know, of course, you've been nominated by the president. Here we are vetting either to approve or disapprove you. In your own assessment, do you think you're fit for that position?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Co-Chair. Thank you, members. I'm fit. I have no baggage at all. I have experience, as I've stated, having commanded major operations. Honestly, commanding an operation where you're hosting the Holy Father. Incidentally, go to Vatican for 7 days to understand about the security of the Holy Father. And we had no incident. We had millions of people in this country, in this city. And among many other operations, I've submitted 15 copies of operation order to this committee. I presented 15 major operation orders. I'm fit a chair.
Thank you, Mr. Kome. Now, you've worked now for 31 years in the police service. Can you tell this committee and the nation, because your actual life, your financial net worth, and in addition to that, what are your current and anticipated sources of income?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Co-Chair. Thank I have a bank with I have an account with the Kenya Commercial Bank, where my salary goes to. Then with the police circle, I share capital of about 27,000. I have some deposits, a BOSA, then FOSA savings. So that is Kenya Police Circle. Then I have vehicles. Then I have 2 tractors. I'm interested in farming. That is actually my hobby. So I have 2 tractors. I have some land in my rural village, about 7 acres. The bit is to mentor young people. So, where I do a bit of farming, I've done some development. I have 2 plots within the local shopping center. I have a plot of a parcel of land where I live in Nairobi, where I've lived for 23 years. Then Police Circle bought some plot in Kitengela. So again, I bought 2 plots. Then I have a liability. I have a loan of about 1.1 billion. Therefore, my net worth is about 89 billion, 932,865.
Thank you.
Kenya shillings.
Thank you. What is your anticipated source of income apart from what you already have? That is the second part of the question.
Thank you, sir. Out of the daily, I do daily farming, but there is a paid manager who does that, not me. I do daily farming. I keep cattle. So out of the farming produce per year is about 9 million.
Okay. That's okay. I think we just wanted to know the anticipated source of income, even as you serve, if this committee appointment. Another question I would like you to answer to this committee and the country is whether you are a member of a political party, and are you at any time held any position in a political party? That question is relevant because it is a constitutional right to be in that position. We'd like to know that. Have you ever been dismissed from office for any conflict between personal interest and public or official duties? And finally, have you been adversely associated with practices that depict bias of your public duties in those 31 years? So if you can remember those 3 questions, you can just briefly answer them.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Co-Chair. Thank you, honorable members of the Parliament. I've never joined any political party at all. I've never been dismissed in any service. I've never practiced nepotism, favorism, not at all, Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Finally, before we give the floor to members, Article 10 of the Constitution, that is on national values and principles of good governance. Just share with this committee whether you understand the essence of Article 10 of the Constitution on national values and principles of good governance.
Thank you, Chair. That's an article I understand very well. In my office, I always keep this book. The supreme law of this country, the Constitution.
I hope together with the Bible.
Together with the Bible, Chair. Even in the Bible, you will find it in my office.
Proceed.
Therefore, just in case, if you allow me to serve as the Inspector General of our beautiful country, if you allow my nomination, Chair, Co-Chair, I wish to state I will have no option. Stick to this Constitution. Article 10, I will have to observe it. Treat everybody with dignity. Be humane. Protect life. I have no option. So all those values mentioned under Article 10, Chair, Co-Chair, members, is my commitment, and all through in my policing career, I've put effort towards ensuring I'm a professional policeman and serving all our people equally.
My question was whether you appreciate the professions, but I think you've given a general term. So that is in order. Now, are you calling Article 232 of the Constitution on values and principles of public service, having now served for 31 years? And the question is very clear. Are you conversant with that article?
Chair, very conversant with that article. Actually, is a guiding principle of a policeman. So it's very clear to me, Chair.
Okay. Now, finally, Mr. Koome, and this is very important. and I want you to inform this committee, what is your vision? We appreciate your 31 years of service. That is okay. How you received the BOP in Kenya, that is okay. The 15 operational orders you've done, that's okay. But the question before the House and the country is, what is your vision as the Inspector General of Police if this committee approves you? Because that is where Kenyans are looking into. What is your vision? Can you tell us the vision?
Welcome, you're watching The CEO. On this show, where we invite masters, captains of industry.
It's all about working in teams. Customers are happy, it's a good month, the markets are good. I mean, those are very exciting moments.
Ladies and gentlemen who tell us where and how to find money and put money in our pockets and how to go about doing business in the best possible way.
For me, I'm not serving myself, I'm serving community.
Hi there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. My name is Maggie Wambogo, Sales Manager, Lookuptv Real Estate, and I'm here at our head office, Absa Towers, located at Reuters Street. Today, I'm here to talk about our newest project, that is Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki, and it is located only 10 minutes drive from Cedar Mall. And in this project, we have proposed that we will be having a GMC Entertainment Center. This will be a replica of what we have in Kitengela, GMC Kitengela. We are also proposing a police post, so you are assured that security, once you invest here, security is good. And we are also proposing to have a playing ground. We are also going to have a community ground. So once you invest here, you don't have to worry about the security. The other things, among the things that we are doing, or the things that we have done already in Great Oasis Gardens, we have already done the marking fence, and the roads, the internal roads are already happening. We have started the maraming the road, and we are still in the process of doing the maraming of the internal roads. And we are also sinking a borehole so that we ensure that our investors in Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki, will not struggle with water. We are also going to elevate a water tower so that we have a constant supply of water in this project. And we also have a caretaker on site. The caretaker is on site and he's there 24/7. And then we also have different sizes in this project. We are having 8, we are having quarters, we are having halves, and we are also having acres. One can buy in bulk, you can buy in big chunks, and that is why we are saying in Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki, we are saying that bigger is better. In this project, what you can invest in, you can invest in private schools, you can also do holiday homes, whereby you can do Airbnb, you can also do holiday homes and then you start renting, and you can also build houses and sell. You can also do apartments in this area. You can also do supermarkets. You can also build a mall and then you start renting. There is so much that you can do in this project because it is not controlled development. We are also located along Nanyuki Rumuruti Road, and this road is being proposed to be tarmacked by the government. So coming from Nanyuki, or coming from wherever you will be coming from, it will be very easy to access the project because it is touching the Nanyuki Rumuruti Road, which is going to be tarmacked by the government. My number is +254 722 355 107. Do not be left behind. Call that number. I will work with you. If you are in Kenya, give me a call. We go for the site visit. We select the project. We start the payment. If you're in diaspora, send a representative, and I will be delighted to work with you. And as we say here in Lookuptv, we shine because you make us shine. God bless you. Thank you.
of the Constitution. If Parliament will approve your nomination, you will sit atop the National Police Service, and you are likely to enjoy sweeping powers. You'll be the man to be entrusted with safety and security of Kenyans, and also safeguarding their human rights. To this, I'm looking at your previous work experience that you are likely to bring to your new docket. As Nairobi Regional Commander, you are adversely mentioned in an affidavit by the Kenya Human Rights Commission that through omission or commission, under your watch, Kenyans' rights were grossly violated during the post-election violence in 2017. You need to tell us how much you know about incidents which happened in 2017 after the election, and what assurances will you give Kenyans that you are up to the task to defend their rights? Secondly, is the issue of corruption. Here I am looking at leadership. Corruption, I believe Kenyans are watching. Our police institution is considered to be almost the most corrupt in the country. In police stations, during arrest, investigation, traffic police, the menace of corruption is so widespread that I believe Kenya's trust must be restored. And it must be restored by yourself if Parliament sees it fit that they can give you the job. Give us a history of you fighting corruption in your long career, and tell the people of Kenya your commitment and possible strategies. Finally, Mr. Chairman, it is on the issue of integrity. Looking at your CV and your workstations, I almost see that you worked in Nairobi, Machakos, Maragua. You're basically a Nairobi man. For those of us coming from far-flung areas that are perennially in conflict, we are worried that do you really understand Kenya, and are you likely to address even some of our concerns? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Raso. I'm sure you've taken notes on those issues. Let me allow Honorable Kaunya. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Chair. Our nominee, Japhet Kome, you are welcome. I want to ask a question that is related again to the area of integrity. It touches on integrity, slightly quite closely related to what Honorable Raso asked. I see from your CV, your promotions were seamless, and that is really commendable, because in the public service, as you are aware, the promotions follow certain requirements, and I have seen. But I wanted just to ask a question, whether these promotions, were they promotions you earned, or they are promotions that you are assisted? The reason I'm asking, as you are aware, there are police officers who have served for 30 years. Some have served for 15 years with even degrees, but they don't get the promotions. So that's one area that maybe touches. Secondly, it's a question relating to the relationship between the police, the National Police Service, and other departments. It is public knowledge that there has not been very good relationship, or there has been tension between the National Police Service, sometimes with the DPP on who should charge who, the DCI, sometimes with the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, the IPOA, which is supposed to be policing the police. We want to ask how, in what way are you going to deal with those tensions, and how are you going to ensure there's harmonious relationship so that the services do not suffer? I think those two are my first questions.
Thank you, Honorable Kamunya. And finally, in that row is Honorable Lisa Chilule. You have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. And thank you, honorable members of Parliament. Engineer Kome, I'm asking you a question that is under leadership and integrity. And I have two questions, Engineer. My number one question is about corruption. Is there anything that you can do to eradicate alleged endemic and systemic corruption in the service? Tell the people of Kenya your commitment and your strategies. My question number two, Engineer, is about the harmonious working relationship with other government agencies. How will you ensure that there is harmonious working relationship with other agencies, such as DPP and ESCC, and mitigate the duplication roles? Number three, Engineer Koome, if warrant of arrest was to be issued by the courts against your cabinet secretaries, will you execute? Thank you, Chair.
Good. I want to change a bit. I want to give Professor Ojenda, to Senator Ojenda, on that particular item also. And then it's supposed to be three, but I've added one before. So that
thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Just Engineer Kome, is it Engineer or Inspector? I think you're an inspector now that you're a policeman. Inspector Kome, just tell us, do you have any history of discipline either by yourself as an officer or against you as an officer when you served or since you were employed in the service? Have you been the subject of disciplinary proceedings? Number two, you have been asked questions on corruption and what you do to curb corruption in the police force. I think when the new CS for internal security was sworn in, he said that one of the things he would want to see is policemen wearing trousers without pockets. Is this sufficient? Is this sufficient? Or do you think there's more that you can do to inculcate personal integrity in police officers who serve? But lastly, on the same line, Engineer Kome, are policemen sufficiently remunerated? Or do you think that the remuneration that policemen get is the cause of corruption in the force?
Thank you. You can now answer those questions. Yeah, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Co-Chair. Thank you, honorable members. I wish to start with Professor Ojenda, Senator Professor Ojenda. You can add Senior Counsel and Senior Counsel Ojenda.
And you can confirm,
thank you,
Senator Kisumu.
Any history of discipline? Not at all. For the 31 years, clean record of service. Corruption, a chair, a co-chair. This is a matter which has been in the public domain cannot continue as issue. At this level, I think we have seen it all. But to our children, we have reached a point where there has to be a conversation. And the chair, if you allow me to serve as an Inspector General, we have no option. And this is what the promotional courses I have at the college. Every morning, this is subject we deal with. We don't teach corruption. You know, how one can be corrupt. Maybe we teach officers how to fight corruption, but not to be corrupt. And the corruption-free zone. We must take the bull by its odds. I will start with the identification. I'm here in uniform and with my two names. Any member of the public, any Kenyan can identify me. Approve my nomination. Not a single day you find me without the two names here. That is the commitment. And that is what I expect. If the Inspector General, just in case you allow this nomination, just in case you approve this nomination, if the Inspector General will be all through with his name tag, I expect the same with my officers. They should be able to be identified by members of the public. If you allow my nomination, I intend to have a discussion with the service commanders. So when I'm in my suit, and I'm in suit on duty, I may also need to have an impact. Conversation. What we see along our homes, and I will not sit here is ugly. It's not acceptable. That's an issue I'll deal with. The chair, again, if you approve this nomination, I intend to go further and with the service commanders so that we can have a reward mechanism to the members of the public. So that any member of the public is out there, he captures a police officer, receives assent. Then there is a reward to that member of the public, monetary reward. And this But even at the police, it is the National Police Service Act, the county policing authorities. It is in the law, but you have taken too long. Policing authorities, and that will be a game changer. Because what the National Police Service Act says, any barrier along the road must be entered in a register, which is managed by the county policing authorities. So if we go that way, we shall not have I wish now I go to the question by...
Yeah, you must have noted that there are quite a number of them. So I will ask if you can be a little bit short to the point so that you can able to address the kind of the many number of questions raised by members. Yeah.
That will be the answer. I'll adhere to that. I'll adhere to that, sir. Honorable Cherule, leadership and integrity. Corruption, I've addressed it. No compromise. Harmony. With the DPP. I think what you have been watching on TV, what you have been observing is very unfortunate.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College is focused on being the leading technical and vocational training institute in the region. Our team possesses in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in the industry, offering thorough training in cosmetology, hairdressing, interior design, creative arts, training of trainers, nail technology, and fashion design. With branches in Nairobi, Thika, Meru, Eldoret, and now in Mombasa, Our courses ensure that learners are completely equipped with knowledge, competency, and employability skills. Enroll today to be a part of a center of excellence.
Get a chance to wake up as a tourist as you view Mount Kenya every day by buying a plot of land at Wema Gardens, Naru Moru. At only 400 meters off tarmac, this is the right place to build your dream home, cottages or holiday homes. You can also buy this property to give to your children as a special inheritance. Water and electricity are in the vicinity, while neighbors are already building their homes. These plots are specially ready for you with title deeds scheduled to be out in 6 months. Buy a 50 by 100 plot of land at Wema Gardens for only 399,000 Kenya shillings. You can also pay for your plot through our friendly one-year installments plan.
Welcome, you're watching The CEO. On this show, where we invite masters, captains of industry.
It's all about working in teams. Customers are happy. It's a good month. The markets are good. I mean, those are very exciting moments.
Ladies and gentlemen who tell us where and how to find money and put money in our pockets and how to go about doing business in the best possible way.
For me, I'm not serving myself, I'm serving community.
Born a man, the society bestows tough responsibilities upon you.
Lazima uwe mtu wa bidii, ukija kuoa lazima uwe ni provider.
If you're not able to provide, that's a challenge. It takes a toll on a man.
It takes someone who is strong enough to face it.
This is Born a Man.
Good to have you join us on Heart to Heart.
We bring you stories of people who, despite the pressures they experienced, still trusted God to see them through.
The seeds that was sown in me helped me navigate and overcome that period of my life.
New testimonies, new insights, and even better revelation of the good things God has in store for us.
There is always a blessing waiting for someone in every episode.
Hapa kazi tu inaendelea kuwasaka na kuwatambua wale ambao wanafanya kazi extraordinary na zile kazi za kujituma.
Biashara yote unaambiangwa, as long as you have a plan, you can do it. Our service is about to pressure the customer.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, hii ni hapa kazi tu.
Hi there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. My name is Maki Wambogo, Sales Manager, Lookuptv Real Estate, and I'm here at our head office, Absa Towers, located at Reuters Street. Today, I'm here to talk about our newest project, that is Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki, and it is located only 10 minutes drive from Cedar Mall. And in this project, we have proposed that we will be having a GMC Entertainment Center. This will be a replica of what we have in Kitengela, GMC Kitengela. We are also proposing a police post, so you are assured that security, once you invest here, security is good. And we are also proposing to have a playing ground. We are also going to have a community ground. So once you invest here, you don't have to worry about the security. The other things, among the things that we are doing, or the things that we have done already in Great Oasis Gardens, we have already done the marking fence, and the roads, the internal roads are already happening. We have started the maraming the road, and we are still in the process of doing the maraming of the internal roads. And we are also sinking a borehole so that we ensure that our investors in Great Oasis Gardens, Nanyuki, will not struggle with water. We are also going to elevate a water tower so that we have a constant supply of water in this project. And we also have a caretaker on site. The caretaker is on site and he's there 24/7. And then we also have different sizes in this project. We are having 8, we are having quarters, we are having halves, and we are also having acres. One can buy in bulk, you can buy in big chunks, and that is why we are saying in Great Oasis Gardens Nanyuki, we are saying that bigger is better. In this project, what you can invest in, you can invest in private schools, you can also do holiday homes, whereby you can do Airbnb, you can also do holiday homes and then you start renting, and you can also build houses and sell. You can also do apartments in this area. You can also do supermarkets. You can also build a mall and then you start renting. There is so much that you can do in this project because it is not controlled development. We are also located along Nanyuki Rumuruti Road, and this road is being proposed to be tarmacked by the government. So coming from Nanyuki or coming from wherever you'll be coming from, it will be very easy to access the project because it is touching the Nanyuki Rumuruti Road, which is going to be tarmacked by the government. My number is +254 722 355 107. Do not be left behind. Call that number. I will work with you. If you're in Kenya, give me a call. We go for the site visit. We select the plot and we start the payment. If you're in diaspora, send a representative, and I will be delighted to work with you. And as we say here in Optiven, we shine because you make us shine. God bless you. Thank you.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College is focused on being the leading technical and vocational training institute in the region. Our team possesses in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in the industry, offering thorough training in cosmetology, hairdressing, interior design, creative arts, training of trainers, nail technology, and fashion design. With branches in Nairobi, Thika, Meru, Eldoret, and now in Mombasa, our courses ensure that learners are completely equipped with knowledge, competency, and employability skills. Enroll today to be a part of a center of excellence.
Born a man, the society bestows tough responsibilities upon you.
Lazima uwe mtu wa bidii, ukija kuoa lazima uwe ni provider.
If you're not able to provide, that's a challenge. It takes a toll on a man.
It takes someone who is strong enough to face it.
This is Born a Man.
Good to have you join us on Heart to Heart.
We bring you stories of people who, despite the pressures they experienced, still trusted God to see them through.
The seeds that was sown in me helped me navigate and overcome that period of my life.
New testimonies, new insights, and even better revelation of the good things God has in store for us.
There is always a blessing waiting for someone in every episode.
Hapa kazi tu inaendelea kuwasaka na kuwatambua wale ambao wanafanya kazi extraordinary na zile kazi za kujituma.
Biashara yote unaambiangwa, as long as you have a plan, you can do it. Our service is about kufurahisha the customer.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, hii ni hapa kazi tu.
Welcome, you're watching The CEO. On this show, where we invite masters, captains of industry.
It's all about working in teams. Customers are happy. It's a good month. The markets are good. I mean, those are very exciting moments.
Ladies and gentlemen who tell us where and how to find money and put money in our pockets and how to go about doing business in the best possible way.
For me, I'm not serving myself, I'm serving community.
Hi there, my name is George Washuri. I am so happy to see you, and today I am here to enumerate, to explain how we package our land investment. We have 5 levels of our property, and we classify these levels as 1 star, 2 stars, 3 star, 4 star, and 5 star. This is what we mean, that if you buy a property that is 1 star with Optiven, one of the things that is evident, the property is cheaper, is below $500,000. And this particular property is basically bare land. We only do subdivision, put the beacons, and then produce titles. The second level, we call it 2 star. This is prime land, whereby we grade the roads, we put a marking fence, do the beacons, and produce titles. The third level, we call it 3 stars. This 3 star is value added plots. We do the malam, we do the water, we do the mesh fence, and there's a caretaker on site. The fourth level is 4 star. 4 star is ready to build development. We do very nice maram roads, we plant the trees, we put the water tower, we also put a caretaker on site, and finally, the 5 star. The 5 star is premier, is the top level, and this one, we do cable roads, we do water management through underground culverts, we do underground power, we do fountain for water, we do beautiful and nice permanent gates, we do perimeter wall, and also do install the CCTV, and the whole property is manned by uniformed security. Some of these properties, these 5-star properties, we do a clubhouse and also construct swimming pool. Thank you once more for trusting Optiven. We value you. We are at Absa Plaza, 14th floor and 15th floor. God bless you.
Born a man, the society bestows tough responsibilities upon you.
Lazima uwe mtu wa bidii. Ukija kuoa lazima uwe ni provider.
If you're not able to provide, that's a challenge. It takes a toll on a man.
It takes someone who is strong enough to face it.
This is Born a Man.
The new Kasarani Sportsview Hotel is a state-of-the-art hotel located along Isipa Road off the modern Thika Superhighway. Enjoy well-equipped comfortable halls and boardrooms accommodating up to 1,000 people. We have elegant, spacious and well-appointed rooms with several types to choose from to meet your needs. Feast on well-marinated nyama choma at the Nyama Choma Ranch and a variety of other a la carte and buffet options. Our health club consists of the gym, steam bath, sauna, aerobics and swimming. Kids' activities include a bouncing castle, train, swings, trampolines, among others. Bring to life the event of your dreams at our beautiful events gardens with a capacity of up to 3,000 people. For more information, call us on 011102 4700. The new Kasarani Sportsview Hotel. Country tranquility in the city.
Good to have you join us on Heart to Heart.
We bring you stories of people who, despite the pressures they experienced, still trusted God to see them through.
The seeds that was sown in me helped me navigate and overcome that period of my life.
New testimonies, new insights, and even better revelation of the good things God has in store for us.
There is always a blessing waiting for someone in every episode.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College is focused on being the leading technical and vocational training institute in the region. Our team possesses in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in the industry, offering thorough training in cosmetology, hairdressing, interior design, creative arts, training of trainers, nail technology, and fashion design, with branches in Nairobi, Thika, Meru, Eldoret, and now in Mombasa. Our courses ensure that learners are completely equipped with knowledge, competency, and employability skills. Enroll today to be a part of a center of excellence.
Hapa kazi tu inaendelea kuwasaka na kuwatambua wale ambao wanafanya kazi extraordinary na zile kazi za kujituma.
Biashara yote unaambiangwa, as long as you have a plan, you can do it. Our service is about to pressure the customer.
Mpenzi mtazamaji, hii ni hapa kazi tu.
Also, I ask you to, we will try to be brief. We still have quite a number of members who have indicated they want to contribute. Yeah, so I think on cattle rustling, it's been asked quite a number of members. So maybe before we give other members, let him answer those questions. Then we go to another set of questions. And I ask you members to kindly be brief. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Co-Chair. Thank you, members, the Senate. Now, this regarding cattle rustling was the question touched on cattle rustling. Incidentally, it's not even cattle rustling. It is livestock rustling. Because in that business, actually what is involved more is goods. It's not even the cows, it's the goods. Therefore, it's livestock rustling. A study was carried out by IGAD, and the findings were very worrying. That every year, the amount of money involved in terms of cows, goats involved is about 4.92 billion every year. It's 4.92 billion. Then the cost in terms of displacement, the destruction, foodstuff destroyed, homes burnt down. The costs of all that quantified is about 40-something billion. In total, every year we lose about 51 billion in livestock rustling. That's a substantial amount of money. And you've not even quantified. You can't quantify. You cannot put any value on a life lost. You can't. Chair, co-chair, honorable members, we are at a point where enough is enough. Officers have been running up and down, pursuing the raiders, who are youths, idle youths. But we have been leaving out the livestock. Are they barons or loans? We have been leaving out the livestock loans.
The warlords.
The loans. Because this is a major criminal commercial enterprise. But let's be sincere. It is a major criminal criminal commercial enterprise. If we continue pursuing these youths, who at the end of the day get very little out of that enterprise, and we are leaving out the loans, we shall not get anywhere. Chair, co-chair, members, senators, if you approve my nomination, I'll come back to this committee so that livestock clustering is treated as a terrorist act. That way, any livestock lot or we official arrests will go to jail for life. And that way, this business, this criminal activity will end. Therefore, I'll come back to you if you approve my nomination, members, so that we can work together and deal with this problem once and for all. The youths who are involved in this criminal activity, we need to give them some training, maybe vocational training. They can be involved. There is a shortage of plumbers in this country. So we can give these youth skills. Then the reformed, those reformed raiders, we give an incentive so that those who are being recruited will be discouraged. Chair, co-chair, we need a Marshall Plan. We used to have a livestock clustering in the Kachiriba. It's no longer the case. Now there are people are farming. Kachiriba these days is very safe. Arale area. Why can't we do the same to Tiati? Why can't we do the same to Rokori? There is another member who said I'm a Nairobi person. There is no part of this country I've not been to. I've been to Kiunga, I've been to Kibish. I served in anti-stock theft unit, pursuing cattle rustlers. Therefore, a chair, let's have a Marshall Plan for those areas. We cannot at all allow leaving some areas behind as other parts of this country develop. Otherwise, the legitimacy of the state will be lost. So those are the strategies. I'm allowed to get into this office. First, we start with those loans. I hope I've addressed the other one I need to mention, go back to, is to resolve all these challenges we have. As I mentioned, is the county policing authorities. This committee again, if my nomination is approved, let's operationalize the county policing authorities. Who are the members of this authority? The governor is the chairperson. The county police commander is a member. The NIS coordinator of that county is a member. The CID commander is a member. Then two members elected are nominated by the county assembly of that county. Two members are members of that authority. Then members representing religious organizations, the youth, women, people who require special needs, they are represented in that committee, that authority. And every constituency is represented. So if those county policing authorities are operational, that would be a game changer in this country. The collapsing buildings we are having in Kiambu, because Kiambu, the challenge there is not cattle rustling. Within that county, there are challenges, security challenges, collapsing buildings. So that committee is able to, that authority can. So that is a strategy I intend to bring into this once I am in that office. That's the strategy I'm going to employ. Chair, you asked about the emerging crimes. Actually, the most worrying one is falsified medicine. That's the most worrying now. Other than cybercrime, among others, falsified, fraudulent medicine in the market. You are diabetic, but you take that pill every morning, you are not actually addressing the problem. You are taking something else. So therefore, that is why we want to enhance Chair, once you give me this opportunity to serve as the IG, immediately enhance our capacity so that we are able to have officers with the knowledge, the training, the capacity to address the emerging challenges. Honorable Buja talked about the worries. I'm not worried. I'm equal to the task. With the support of this committee and the fellow, the police officers. Incidentally, we have very good police officers in this country. 98% very professional, patriotic, is only 2%. Very professional, doing very good job. Therefore, Honorable Bunja, I have the critical mass. I have the critical mass to change that 2%. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, attending intercommittee, and every country wanted to know about how we managed to see terrorism attack. It was done very well, very professional. Every country wanted a presentation from us. Or now Kenya, very professional police officers, very competent. Senator Mogo, illicit Bruce, big challenge, chair. Co-chair, big challenge. Our youths must stop this liking for alcohol. We are drinking too much. This must be managed. This is our passion for this area. Illicit brews and drugs. Because we are not accepted, we are going to lose our generation. This again, we need a chair if you approve by nomination. Immediately, I will not wait for the CEO Nakada to come to my office. I'll go to his office and discuss about this problem. Is building synergy, working together, multi-agency approach. And we're able to guide our children. That alcohol, drinking too much alcohol, getting into drugs, that is not the way to go. Senator Haji, wash, very unfortunate. And, even people who have been very educated, people have got into this trap. Very embarrassing. Even at times when you go to give evidence in the court, everybody looks at you. Surely, did that happen? Get rich quickly, peer pressure. We must live within our means. We have no option. Let's live within our means. That has not been hard to make millions. We live within our means. So I think, again, the question by Senator Mogo, it was on cattle rustling, Isiolo Sambu. So thank you, Chair. Thank you, Co-Chair. Thank you, members. Thank you, Senators.
Thank you, our nominee. Mr. Kome. We still have a number of members who want to ask the question, but just want to bring to the attention of the members that there is one Irungu Houghton. I don't know who is he, who wanted to ask something on police reform. Our standing orders and the procedures does not allow, you are a stranger in this, maybe it will have happened in form of a petition. But I'm sure the same, one of your requests may be addressed. Is among the many questions I'm seeing members floating. So kindly and very fast, we have got Senator Nyamu, Honorable Caroline and Kapondi in that order. Quickly, because I'm seeing our time is a bit rushing.
Thank you, Chair. Inspector Kome, there has been hue and cry lately about our girls who are going to work outside the country, and particularly in the Arab countries. There has also been an influx of contraband goods in the country, and the hot topic of tax evasion that even the president has taken the forefront in campaigning for tax, that ensuring citizens pay their taxes. What is your strategy to deal with these rogue employment agencies and the counterfeit goods and the issue of tax evasion? Secondly, Inspector, what new approaches will you employ to ensure safety and security of all citizens and their property across the country, as is your number one mandate? New approaches. I'm sure, being part of the police service for 31 years, you know of all approaches being employed, what has worked, what has failed. Do you have any new approaches that you wish you get this opportunity to apply and change things to ensure security of property and citizens? Thank you.
Quickly, Eleche. Yes, Vice.
Honorable Chair, the nominee before us is much higher than an inspector. An inspector is a very junior officer in the police force. So if we don't know the rank, let us just address him as the nominee. Thank you, Chair.
I don't know where you got that title from.
Chair, the nominee before us is a senior assistant inspector general. That is the title. But he has applied to be an inspector general. So, general.
So, Faida, I think on that one, I think the House is guided. It is not good to mislead. The nominee has not applied to become the IG. He has been nominated. I think it is good to put it correctly.
But
it's matters of law.
Chair, I think for purposes of that issue, let us, so that we don't get confusion at some point, for all purposes of this meeting, let us just revert to him as the nominee.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The nominee, thank you so much. And my name is again Honorable Caroline Ngaleche, County MP for Elgeyo Marakwet County. And I'm happy that you served in ASTU, that is anti-stock theft, in 1990. Same issue, but I, as myself in Parliament, I am Elgeyo Marakwet, and Elgeyo Marakwet is my business. And if you can collect views from the people of Elgeyo Marakwet watching this interview, they'll definitely tell you that the issues that you handled, how you answered the questions on banditry, are the same issues that we've always had, and there has not been any difference. I wish that you can go deeper. Tell us, you've talked about opening up the area and training the youth to be plumbers and blah, blah, blah. But then tell us the short-term measures, because that is a very active thing currently. The president talked about its family in, I think it was Samburu, then the next day there was an attack. Kindly tell us the immediate and short-term measures that, if given the opportunity, you're going to implement. Tell us how you're going to do the disarmament differently, the way it's been done. Because since I was a baby, there's been disarmaments in that area every now and then. Where do firearms come from thereafter? Do you do disarmament, then the firearms are returned back to the people? Tell us. I cannot talk about it family because during attacks, many a times when you collect the cartridges left by the bandits, you find that they belong to the government of Kenya. Tell us how you're going to do, or how you're going to handle the whole affair, how you're going to collaborate with the manufacturers to ensure that there is a watertight security and only firearms are given to the rightful people, and how are you going to ensure that there is no misuse by police officers or those charged or those given the responsibility about it. Tell us about the new technology. We know we are in a techno era whereby things change. Tell us how you're going to handle banditry with technology. Are you going to deploy drones? Are you going to get more sophisticated firearms? Tell us if you're going to employ aircrafts, or we want to hear such things, because how I had the question, how you answered the question to me is the normal things that you've always had. We've had meetings and meetings, and I can assure you, even in the shopping centers, there at home, people are talking about what you're talking about. We have a police station, and if you worked in us too, you must be knowing all the camps in the Kerio Valley. We have a camp in the Kerio Valley called Tot. It doesn't have enough police officers. The police officer, some 6 months ago, 3 children were killed within that area. Tell us, is it the issue of not enough police officers, of unprofessional police officers? Tell us if these police officers are there just to earn an income or to earn a salary and leave the place. Tell us about the arrests ever made. You know, we always see criminals being taken to court. Myself, I've not witnessed a criminal on banditry charged before a court of law. Last year, in Elgeyo Marakwet, we lost more than 100 people to banditry. So, no, don't moderate me, Honorable Kapondi. Sorry, Honorable Kapondi is just, but I'm about to finish it up. Tell us how you're going to ensure that these criminals wanapatikana na wanapelekwa kotini. Finally, the whole affair, when you talk about short-term issues, tell us what you're going to do with those people, or with a business or movement of livestock from one place to another. If you see a truckload of livestock passing or to the river, just tell us how you're going to know that this truck is not faring proceeds of banditry. Those are the things I would have wished to hear. And I can assure you that we might not achieve a lot if you're not going to answer me those questions, because my people will want to know what you're going to do that is different. Thank you so much.
Nominee Engineer Kome, I must appreciate the fact that you have passion for the job, going by your history. Having been a policeman even before you were recruited at the University of Nairobi. Engineer Kome, this is the 21st century. Colleagues are talking about wrestling, which may require a fiscal approach. Coming to the 21st century, and without proper preparedness is a cybercrime. That is a new frontier. Yes, you have been given what the Constitution provides for. That is the budget, independence of the office, so that you can execute your mandate. What are you going to do in terms of investment in technology with limited budget? Because the budget, I believe, will not be sufficient enough given the myriad of issues that you are supposed to tackle as the IG nominee. Good. Maybe it's your turn, Mr. Comey.
Chair, co-chair, honorable members, senators, Senator Nyamo. Our young people who are going to Saudi Arabia, the other day I traveled with them. I traveled in economy class, Saudi Airline, and I went with those our youths. Huge, big number, and that happens on daily basis. Full load, airplane going to Jeddah, going to Riyadh, and they look very innocent. I remember even as we were taking off, and somehow, because of they could see there's an elderly, sitting next to them. So I was managing them because the flight was very uncomfortable. That indicates how innocent they are. When we got to, we had an engagement with them, and they would tell me, all these stories you read about back at home, it may not be the reality. When I was flying back, again, my connection, the flight, took me about 3 or 4 hours. Again, quite a number who have been there for 4 years, 3 years, coming back. And a long discussion with them, because I want them to understand really what is the issue. That is a matter we really need to study the truth in it, or exactly what is happening. It is a matter we need, it needs to be understood very well through multi-agency approach, immigration, of course, the labor, the ministry, also the interested, is our children. Therefore, is an area I may not be very competent to comment further about, but there is a lot. There is a lot in that area. These are our children. We cannot allow them to be mistreated. And I would mention why at times, because most of you have visited Saudi Arabia. You know there is no compromise. You must be law-abiding. A slight thing, you find yourself in jail. And there's no compromise. If you allow me, again, my nomination to be approved, this is a matter of Senator Nyamo, tax evasion. And His Excellency the President has pronounced himself on this. Chair, co-chair, honorable members, once you approve my nomination, I intend to cover our border a lot. I remember asking the other day the regional commander, Northeastern, if he ever saw a Mumias lorry, the company lorry, recall when he last saw one. So what is the indication? What are the indicators? All the sugar they consume around there may not be local sugar. It is through the porous border. The rice, I remember him telling me he has never seen a Moya rice lorry driving to Garissa. Therefore, this is a matter is once my nomination is approved through a multi-agency approach for the sake of our country is a matter we need to resolve. We are losing a lot of wealth of this country. Yes, safety measures are put in place. I'll invest a lot in the building capacity of officers. When you are qualified human resource with capacity, that is worth investing in that area. Therefore, our investors have stated quite a lot in terms of building capacity of our officers. Honorable Caroline Katolasori, Chair, I seek your indulgence. I'm aware we are being watched by friendly forces and unfriendly forces. There are some bits of strategies, unless we have curtains drawn, some strategies may compromise the security of our beautiful country. So, Chair, I need you to be guided in that area. However, Honorable Caroline, once you approve my nomination, we shall have been to talk.
The Chair, point of order, Chair.
Yes.
Could the nominee restrict himself to, if we approve his nomination, not once, we approve his nomination? Thank you.
No, it's okay. Yeah. So please restrict to if.
Okay.
You know,
well guided.
What have a lot of meanings.
Just go. Paul Akinyi. Just move on. You are on somewhere on Lengele Teach.
Chair, maybe it's an issue of language. It's an issue of language.
Yes.
But this is not, English is not a foreign language.
No, you said when, but I know you meant if.
But it's may.
Yeah, so
just in case it's out of your...
Proceed, Mr. Cobb.
Therefore, Chair, Honorable Caroline, I'll go with you. I'll go to talk and ensure that we listen to, and that's why I mentioned the Chair. The game changer is once we make this the county policing authorities operational. That is what will change the situation we're in. Because this, every county will identify, this is our problem. That is what they'll discuss. The community are involved. The local leadership is involved. They would then, because the Act says, National Police Act states that every constituency must be represented in that authority. Therefore, Chair, we are able to even get a lot more information because the strategy I intend to employ is intelligence-led policing. I must have intelligence. There's this cattle restaurant who is in that cave. We shall go there. There is this livestock lot who is managing all that, who is funding. Therefore, the game changer, as I've stated, is the county policing authorities, and that will be immediate. As, with due respect, if I'm allowed, given the opportunity, I hope that is better. If I'm given the opportunity, I will immediately ensure that those county policing authorities are operational and serving our people. We have no spare country. Chair.
One, I think it is clear to all of us that the nominee is talking about some sensitive security matters that may not be safe. So I think I will ask members to give benefit of doubt on that. We believe he means yes. Maybe we'll get an opportunity to passionate how touching these matters wrestlings are in majority of our communities. But it's an opportunity that we may discuss even further. So kindly, let's...
It's okay, we give him the benefit of doubt.
So, okay, I think you still have one question unanswered from Honorable Kapondi.
Thank you, Chair and Co-Chair, honorable members and senators. Honorable Kapondi, I have passion for this job. I have passion for police work. And you again mentioned about livestock lastering. Mount Elgon, I'll mention Honorable Kapondi. All those places, keep it crop. All those places with the effort of making sure that our people enjoy their existence. That is the energy we intend to bring to this office. When allowed. We are constrained in terms of budget. Sure, that is true. I'm aware that our moderation budget was about 10 billion. It was cut by 9 billion. So we are now on 1 billion out of 10 billion. Therefore, I will again come back to this honorable committee so that I get more funds. I'm able to buy MRAPs and personnel carriers, surveillance equipment. And thank you, Chair. Those are the questions which were presented before me.
Thank you, members. Let me give to my co-chair to moderate the remaining part. I know Honorable Korere. Yeah.
Thank you. We get another 3 or 4 members. And I want to start with Mheshimiwa Korere.
Thank you, Chair. I have 3 questions to Bwana Kome. Question number 1. You've just mentioned that currently you have 2,900 recruits at the Kiganjo campus, police campus. And you are the immediate commandant of that college. My question is, are you aware that almost half of those recruits, if not all, have literally paid their way into that college through the corruption in recruitment? And it's becoming a very expensive venture to get recruited into the police force, probably because of the unemployment situation in our country. Question number 2, the mental health issues among the police force. If you look at the news nowadays, you hardly go for a week without hearing a police officer have shot themselves, they have shot their family, they have shot so and so. It's not just in the police force, but there are mental health issues among our youth. You actually mentioned that if you don't deal with the drugs and substance abuse, when you come to some of our constituencies, in Elgeyo Marakwet, all the officers of the are those citizens. Is it because they believe that these guys are cattle rustlers, they are so indisciplined, so you take all the indisciplined officers there? How are you going to ensure that we get serviceable men and women, credible, to deal with the issues we have? Then finally, about the Kiganjo Training School. You know, Kiganjo Training School, I'm sure you have some constituent training areas, either in private lands and some in community land. There is a training area for police in a place called Mugogodo, where I'm lucky to have been born and brought up. And we've had issues of unexploded ordinances blowing up children. And currently there is, a very big role between the police and the members of the community. We know the police must train there, or should train there because they are Kenyan police, they protect us. But what action are you going to take to make sure that the communities are compensated and the communities get returns for hosting the police there to train in their land? This is community land. The members of that community have title deeds. It is not gazetted as a police training area. What are you going to do in that field?
Thank you, Honorable Kurere. Very serious questions on that. I allow Honorable Hussein. You have the floor.
Yes. Thank you, Chair. I have 4 pertinent questions. The first one is, our police officers live in a very pathetic situation when it comes to their housing. Especially where I come from in Mandera, I visited the police stations, and you cannot imagine the kind of houses they live. I want to ask the nominee, what plans do you have in changing the lives of our police officers living situation? Number 2, I'm sure the nominee has served in several, senior positions in this country. And he is fully aware that there are so many extrajudicial killings that have happened, especially in the last 5 years. In Mandera alone, over 100 people were killed. Some of them, the bodies were recovered. Others, up to date, their bodies have not yet been recovered. An incident in Nairobi, my own cousin, Abdirizak Mukhtar Ido, was arrested in Mandera and taken to court. He was charged and released later. When he was released, just a few meters from the court, he was snatched from the vehicle with his parents. To date, that person is not found. We don't know where he is, whether alive or dead. My question is, because you served in a senior position, you may have information in the whereabouts of that person and many others that are missing. Another incident is a senior chief in a place called Fino have been taken away during the night with his father-in-law. People thought he died. 7 months later, when even his wife has been taken away by another husband, the guy was dropped and thrown somewhere.
It is by another man.
You know, when in our society, when someone dies, there is what we call wife inheritance. And you see, people thought that this person died months ago. The guy was thrown in a forest, but disabled, completely out. Up to date, that guy is in my constituency. He could not go back to his duty. Up to now, the guy, several camels have been, slaughtered just to make sure that he comes back to normal. But he can't. He is disabled. That's an incident that has happened. Another incident that happened, someone in Arabia, a sub-county in Mandera, has been taken away from his home while he was in a wedding. He wedded a new wife. Taken away. And this is done by our security agents. He was also dropped 8 months later when all his properties were shared by the relatives. They have shared through, inheritance. The wife taken, the properties taken, the animals taken. These are the incidents that have happened. So what plans do you have in changing that kind of extrajudicial killings? These are the ones that are recovered, but others have not been seen to date. Number 3, in our area and in most of the, the pastoral areas, like Turkana, I know Marakwet and all these areas, we have what we call Kenya police reserves that are really helping. Also national police reserves that are helping the society and helping our police force because they understand the situation. They understand the panya routes in the area. But the problem is that they're extremely poorly paid to the tune of 10,000. In fact, the NBRs are paid 5,000 shillings per month. Someone holding a gun and you are giving him 5,000. What do you expect? What plans do you have in at least improving their living standard? Number 4, over 2,000 plots in Mandera, over 2,000 plots owned by my own constituents have been settled by police officers. They have gone to court, gone everywhere. Up to date, that land, it's settled by our police forces. Right now, it's not even an inhabitable place because of, the weapons that have been left and, the buildings that have been put there. What plans do you have also to return that land to the owners and compensating them for the 11 years our forces have been settled there? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Lastly, Honorable Kaunya, you can now answer those. Very weighty.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chair, I would like to ask the nominee a few questions, particularly as relates to the area of governance and the enforcement of the law. would like to hear from the nominee, and it's closely related to the issue of the vision. What leadership style would we expect from you, particularly being the commander of the police? What is your thinking about police as a service, as a force? Nominee, you'll note that the police have come a long way in terms of what we have talked about reforming. The police attitude, whereas, as you indicated, majority of police officers may be doing a good job and working hard, but there's the aspect that we have not been able to bridge, the gap between the citizen-centric police and a system-centric police. Obviously, we expect the police to serve. So we would want to know what steps you will take, if approved as the IG, to ensure that this gap is narrowed so that the citizen can be able to get the services and have trust in the police, because I think that's the major area of the gap. Now, I want to ask a question on the handling of disciplinary cases. You will not notice that as the IG, you are also a member of the National Police Service Commission. You have a role as an IG, and the commission has a role. Can you clarify to the members how you are going to balance between the role of IG and the role of Public Service Commission, especially the HR function? Because most times there's a problem in terms of the balancing. And lastly, Chair, I would like to ask the nominee, since you are commandant of the training college at Kiganjo, I happen to have been also a commandant of a college. And one of the things that is a big challenge that I think we were trying to adopt is to adjust our training syllabus to ensure that certain aspects of reform, like the human rights, are brought on board. To what extent were you able to bring those changes, and what, as an IG, if appointed, would you wish to be changed in terms of making our police more citizen-centric? Thank you.
I think later on I will ask it was which college it was the commanding. But I think the fourth person I want to give the floor is Honorable Sikei.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was going to ask.
Yeah. You have the floor again.
What?
Those four now you will answer. Then we go.
What my colleague has asked is more or less what I was going to ask. But I want to start first with the nominee. Welcome. I want to confirm, Chair, that I worked with this nominee. And possibly I am one of those who recommended for his promotion. when I was in Nairobi. He did a good job when I was there. But Chair, I wanted to talk about the whole issue of community policing. Engineer, you remember that this community policing was introduced in Kenya, and it was enforced all over the country, and it worked. Where have we gone wrong? Because what my colleague is asking is, why is this gap between the people, the citizens of this country, and the police? And let me tell you, and I know that the problem is from the factory where we manufacture these policemen. I think, and I want to thank you because you are in the police college. What I want to ask you is, can you put a finger on what we have done to bring reforms to the Kenya police? Because really, you are in the core of the training of our police officers, and that's very important. Don't you think we need to have some re-engineering of the curriculum in the training colleges in Kiganjo, Embakasi, both TSU and the AP? That's very crucial. That we need to look at the social aspect of the engineering. Are these fellows trained properly to come and work with the people on the ground? Because as of now, Wanakomi, there's a big gap. And I look at you and I see hope that you are going to see this service change. And I want to ask also that the Nyumba Kumi people who are on the ground, are they serving? Are they assisting you in any form? And if so, what are the legal framework we have put in place to assist them? And then I want to also mention the issue of Kenya police reservists. Today, do we have any training of any sort? Or you just give these fellows firearms and they go and loiter around there? These are very critical people, because I work in Northeastern and I know they are very good. They can assist the police. I think we need some form of training. And then another question which I wanted to ask is, in that list of committee in the county, I didn't hear where the county commissioner is placed. Where is he? My last question is on the issue of, I know you are in a very awkward situation when some weird directives are given. Like the last time I heard that you should not allow people to fall in love in a police station. How do you implement this kind of directive? Because they are a bit queer, a bit weird. And I know you are in a very difficult situation because you find yourself to implement something which cannot be implemented. How do you implement this, Wanakom? But I wish you the best.
You can answer those. And as you do that, see how you can be precise, concise to the question so that we move forward.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Co-Chair. Honourable members, the senators, thank you. I wish to start with a question by Honourable Sigei. And thank you, sir, for the kind ones. Indeed encouraging. KPI. Sir, what I propose, if given the opportunity, just in case.
Welcome, you're watching The CEO. On this show, where we invite masters, captains of industry.
It's all about working in teams. Customers are happy, it's a good month, the markets are good. I mean, those are very exciting moments.
Ladies and gentlemen who tell us where and how to find money and put money in our pockets, and how to go about doing business in the best possible way.
For me, I'm not serving myself, I'm serving community.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College is focused on being the leading technical and vocational training institute in the region. Our team possesses in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in the industry, offering thorough training in cosmetology, hairdressing, interior design, creative arts,